Today, I'm reacting to your most inspiring gaming setups. Let's get into the first one. This is Matthew. He is 12 years old and he's located in the United States, and his occupation is soccer, school, gaming, and chores. Interesting. His main game is Valorant / Rocket League, and his previous setup is a glass desk with an Xbox and a small TV. He was inspired to build the setup by TechSource and Cast with cool PC setup videos. And on top of that, he built his setup for gaming and schoolwork. He built it this year, and it took him about 9 months to get everything for this setup. He mostly afforded it by doing chores and birthdays and Christmases, and he built the setup himself, but his dad helped him with the wall mounts onto his monitors as well. His future plans is to get a mic boom arm and maybe a katana for display. I also might get a better desk as well. Dude, holy shit, for 12 years old, bro, this thing is a beautiful PC. Oh my god. Built in the Lee & Lee Mini. Looks like he's rocking the Lee & Lee fans with an AIO there. He's running that card that I have back there. It looks awesome. Love the aesthetic you're going with, this blue and pink vibe here. Cable management could be a little better. Keyboard and mouse combo, pretty nice as well. But this is still crazy for 12 years old, dude. Like, this 12-year-old has a better setup than y'all. He grinded for this setup, man. He deserves it. He did chores. He worked at soccer games and stuff. That's cool. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. I love, the wallpapers and the color theme you're going for. Looks really great. I love the aesthetic, everything like that. The way you're building it out, really good. Over time, I feel like the setup's gonna be beautiful. It has a lot of potential. So thank you so much. All right, we're gonna move on. This is Finley's setup. Now, he is 15 years old and he is located in New Zealand. His main game is Overwatch 2, and his previous setup was an Xbox setup, and it still is an Xbox setup, so that's pretty interesting. What inspired him to build his current setup is Setup Wars, and he hasn't seen many hybrid setups, which is like a console plus a PC. He wanted to do it himself, essentially. He uses a setup for mainly gaming, media consumption, and he uses a second monitor for watching videos and reading manga. It took him about 3 months to build his setup. He saved most of the money from his birthdays and things around the house. He sold extra, and his dad helped him with his cable management and stuff like that. His next upgrades is he wants to do a stacked monitor layout instead, and have a ultra wide instead of just like both of these monitors. He wants to just do an ultra wide instead, which is dope. For a console setup, I was really intrigued by this, just because I think this is really interesting for someone who just has like an Xbox and then like a laptop setup behind there. This setup is solid. I like it where you put your monitors. This monitor layout isn't awful. It's just unique, so I like that. Cable management is under control for the most part, and on top of that, I'm interested that you use a keyboard and mouse for your console and stuff, so that's cool. The shelf above it, I love how you did the lights and the figures above as well, and I like the controller matches, which is dope. For a console laptop setup, I feel like overall this setup is really nice. This is like a solid 7, I'd say. And also, he's young, we're gonna move on to the next setup here. This is Marius, I think is how you say his name. He's 13 from Norway, and his favorite game is Minecraft. His previous setup was a little bit worse than this, and he built a setup for gaming and YouTube, and he built his setup in June 2022. It took him about a day to build this setup, and he afforded it by buying things slowly over the years. His dad did help him build the setup, and he doesn't want anything else in the setup right now. He's running two 32-inch monitors. That's actually crazy. Two 32s. That's pretty big. I think a lot of people always overlook this on depth of desks. I love deep desks like this. A lot of arm space. I'm an arm player, so I love playing with my full arm on desks and stuff. And I think this is like the perfect wide open, just like you have the space to do with that whatever you need. For 13 years old, this is beautiful. I love how it's like white and red, right? You got white and red accents, and then you just have like this beautiful monitor wallpaper where it's like red, yellow, and blue, and it's like a bunch of color, but like the rest of the room is like white. It's really unique. Like I haven't seen like a 13-year-old setup that's just like how much mouse pad space you have. You have great cable management. This is like perfect functionality. The way how much mouse pad room you have, like the splash of color on the monitors, I think it gives like an interesting, unique splash of color to the all white setup. And then on top of that, like your walls are super clean and nice as well. This whole setup's a vibe. Keep up the good work. I love this. The only thing you could add to make this better would be like shelving and more aesthetics, but you're 13. Like this is beautiful. You have everything you need in this setup. Maybe some PC upgrades in the future, but yeah, this is so great. On to the next setup. This is Ryan's setup. He is 13 and he goes to school obviously as his occupation. He's from Wisconsin and his favorite game is Call of Duty. His previous setup was an Xbox setup and he recently got into PC gaming. What inspired him to build his current setup now is seeing GutzyAiden's setup, so much love. He built a setup for video gaming and also schoolwork, and he built it last year. It took him about 6 months to build, and he afforded this setup by doing chores. Who helped build your setup and why? And his dad did, and he is stronger than him, so that's how he like was able to like carry the desk in and also like mount the shelves and stuff like that. And his future plans for the setup is to upgrade his peripherals. I love this desk that you've got going here. The PC looks really nice. I love the desk as well. The desk is really nice looking, and I love that the plant matches the desk. On top of that, like this blue and white theme you got going on is really nice. Overall, I think that you did a decent job. I think this is a solid 5.5. His cable management obviously is not that great, but for 13 years old in this setup is beautiful. Like I feel like 13 years old, like I had nothing close to this. So moving on from Ryan, we're going on to Willius next. This is Will. He is 12 years old from Australia. His main game is Fortnite, and his previous setup was an old desk that was falling apart. So what inspired him to build his current setup is my videos, so thank you. He built the setup for gaming and schoolwork, and he built the setup in 2020. It took him about 2 years to build it to where it is now. He afforded his setup by saving up on Christmas and birthday money, and also partly from his parents. Who helped him build his setup is him and his dad, and he hoped to upgrade a 3070 to a 3090. This is wow, this is really nice, dude. Like he's hoping to upgrade to a 3090 at 12. That's crazy. He's got a 3070 right now. Like this PC's more than fine. You don't need to upgrade to a 3090. Post Malone pop figure, interesting, dude. I love this, the wallpapers, the desk and everything. I love this. On top of that, I love your cable management, bro. You did a killer job on this cable management. I would get a shelf for these pop figures and stuff instead of putting them on your desk, in my opinion. Hey man, if this all works for you, that's awesome. It's nice setup, dude. It like there's nothing really wrong with it besides maybe like a mic arm, you know. In my opinion, I would probably rate this an 8. All right, moving on to the last setup of this episode. This is Yusuf. Yusuf is 15. He goes to school, obviously. He's from the Middle East, and his main games are Call of Duty, Valorant, and Minecraft. His previous setup was a budget setup with bad cable management and a bad desk. So he had basically a PS4 and an old desk. What inspired him to build a new current setup is he's getting a PC, and he's been watching tech sources setup doors since the beginning, and I've always wanted a gaming setup, so that's awesome. He built a setup mainly for gaming, chatting, and normal use, and he started in May 2021 and just finished in August 26th. It took him about 1 year and 3 months to build this entire setup plus the PC. My setup is a budget setup, so I use my allowance and birthday money to build this setup. Awesome. His future plan is to upgrade the PC more, wall panels, LED strips, maybe some more shelves and posters, and he's gonna fix the cable management a little bit more too. Yeah, so this is a budget setup, he said. So right off the rip, the setup is clean. I love that you did the Alisher combo. It's very generic. I also think your cable management isn't awful. Like I feel like this is solid. Like, you know, usability, functionality, but where is like the personality, right? For the most part, this setup is really nice. Functionality wise, you got a good PC going for yourself. You've got, you know, good monitors and a good keyboard and mouse and a good desk. So you've got the foundation, and it has a lot of potential to be really good. But overall, dude, this is great. I love the way that you position everything. The use of space is nice. But yeah, thank you also for supporting the mouse pads too. I really appreciate that. I would probably rate this a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed that video, watch this one next, and don't forget to follow the Twitch down below. See you there.